Hi, my name's Catharine River Rain. I am an intuitive healer, astrologer, and clairvoyant. This is my own personal take on how to do astrology forecasting, and I'm going to give you each your horoscope in a separate video. But right now, I wanted to explain the difference in how I work compared to, let's say, a classical astrologer. So, classical astrology, I would take all of the planets in the sky, the chart, and where everything is falling in the sky at the present time, and analyze all the aspects. So that means how those planets are interacting with other planets. And that is as it's happening in the sky right now. Afterwards, we bring those energies or those aspects, those relationships between planets, we bring that back down, and then we describe how that affects each sign. So for example, just one example, we have the planet Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. We have it for many, many years there. 2008 up to 2024, I believe. We also have planet Uranus in the sign of Aries for many years. I believe that was 2011. It went into Aries, and it'll stay there, I believe, until 2018. I have to double check my books for exact times. But these are long-term outside influences of planets. So for one example, these two planets are moving very slowly, and for the last couple of years, especially this last year, they are making what's called a square. A square is literally like this, 90 degrees. So if you have somebody trying to drive this way and someone trying to drive this way, that's what's going on between these two planets in the sky. They're hitting each other over and over, and they're not moving. So what does that mean? That means many, many things, but it generates a conflict or feeling of challenge, a feeling of intensity, of upheaval, of honestly sort of explosive type of changes, and things that shake you to your core. Now these two are in conflict with each other for a period of 4 years. Yes, my friends, 4 years. 2011 to 2015. We are in a period of massive upheaval and change. Now don't get down about this. Things have to change. We all recognize that. Now the way it plays out, obviously we have an enormous choice over how this can play out. So when I do an astrology chart, a classical astrologer would just, for example, taking these two planets, they're going to bring them down into the chart of an Aries person, let's say. Now, Uranus is in Aries. This person's sun, if you are in Aries, your sun is in Aries. This means Uranus is touching the sun. It's sort of on top of you. Depending when you're born, it's going to be something that every Aries feels for a year, 2 years, depends how sensitive you are as well. But you're going to feel sort of this restlessness, this lightning bolt, this passion surges and then it wanes, this inconsistency, unpredictability. That's Uranus, this desire to break free of everything and go your own way, do something super unique or independent. That's the Uranus energy. Now for this same Aries person, we take planet Pluto, making the square, conflicting it. Now Pluto is in Capricorn. Capricorn falls in the house or the aspect for Aries people of the career. So now we take all of this massive change with the desire to be free, the desire to break out, you're not the boss of me, with this other influence of Pluto and Capricorn that's going to say, rise to the top, do what you have to do, build your empire. Or it might say, let's start a revolution, let's have a new authority. That's also possible. So this is the way classic astrology works, and there's many combinations of planets. Things shift every couple of days because the moon is shifting every couple of days, which means these aspects, these relationships between the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are constantly in flux, constantly changing their relationships to each other. Now how that comes down and affects each sign, and this is just the generalizing of signs, how it affects all Aries, all Taurus. This is where it gets very difficult to make concrete predictions, but we can point to themes that are going on in your life in the long term because of this transit, this movement. Now when it comes to predicting your own chart and what's going to happen, you have your own birth chart, where the planets were situated, the picture of the heavens when you were born. You have that like a template. And then you have the other template of what's going on in the sky right now. And you have to merge these. And you have to see how are they interacting with each other. And it's very complex, as you can imagine. It's brilliant. It's really a brilliant, wonderful system. And I love it. And at the same time, because it is so complex and changes day by day and changes with each individual, I found myself wanting to tap into something perhaps in a more global way, a universal way, a sense of the energy for each sign versus the analytics. Because I know that unless people are super interested in studying astrology, I might have lost you already with the description I just gave of the planets. And others of you are going, well, that was, if you already know astrology well, you're thinking, well, that's sort of general, Catherine. It's very hard to satisfy people with astrology, I find.